What is up, guys? I'm Charlie,
James?
and welcome to a brand new session of an Otaku's Guide for Vita.
So we thought about it and we thought there's a lot of guides for everyone, for the general player, but there's no real, guide targeted for
Otakus.
yeah
Weebs.
Why
You
not?
you know what I mean? Yeah, think about it. We play mobile games all the time, right? And mobile games dedicated for us in a sense. But when it comes out to console, all they know how to talk about is Demon Souls or Fallout 3 or Majigly, Uncharted, Suck My Dick, you know? But what about otakus in general, you know? There's not even a video dedicated to otakus like a buying guide. So what we're gonna do from now on is we're gonna do a video series, and this video series is gonna be dedicated for every single console. It's going to be a complete buyer's guide for otakus and weebs. So stay tuned. As for the first starting pilot episode, we'll be doing Vita, which is more advanced and more modern for us to look at the current date. So it'll be more friendly for all of us. And then we'll move on slowly to the older and older retro generations.
Okay.
Alright, so moving on. The Vita console was there around 2011.
So it was released first in Japan on December 17th of 2011, and the worldwide release came February 22nd of 2012.
So yeah, when the Vita first came out, it was a complete uproar because it was like the replacement for the PlayStation Portable.
Yeah.
And unlike its target audience for like the 3DS or so, which 3DS was targeting for little kids and family and interacting with friends in general, Vita was targeted for more mature audience, for RPGs or just epic gameplay and some stuff like that.
More mature content.
Yeah. And so we're gonna start talking about the different types of consoles for Vita itself.
Yeah. So how many versions of the Vita is there?
There's actually 3 versions in total.
Yep.
So to start off with the one they actually launched worldwide, the base version. What I have here is the first generation of Vita. We're gonna cut scene to zoom in so you can see it clearly.
Yep.
But you can see the Vita is more fat, and it's more. I would say it's more. The finish is more delicate compared to the new Vita. It's more sturdy, it's more heavy, and it's got a lot more features that the new Vita does not have. For example, an extension slot right here, which you can't see it, but we'll zoom in later. But yeah.
Yeah, okay. It's quite hefty. It's a bit wieldy, it's heavy.
Compared to the first generation of Vita, the old Vita, we call it the Vita 1000. The Vita 1000 consists of a Sharp OLED display by Sharp themselves, which the colors are more vibrant compared to the new Vita, and it's just more. I guess the parts are more expensive and more exquisite, but because of budget problems, that's why the first generation of Vita was so overpriced that people just couldn't really afford it when it first launched.
Well, it's kind of a multimedia console, would you say?
Yeah, it's based more on multimedia. It has home theater, can go online, and you can do Facebook, Skype, all that. It's got webcam in the front, webcam in the back, touch screen, microphone. It has everything,
Yeah, when it first came out, I was like, oh my god, there's a touch screen on the back. You can do this shit. Oh, it's so cool.
Pretty much. But then it was overpriced, and it's hard to build. And then people were complaining that the fact that there was 2 versions. One was the 3G plus Wi-Fi, which you can plug in your phone card and go on data as well. The other one was just pure free Wi-Fi. So they realized some of the problems and some stuff they didn't need. For example, the expansion slot, because there wasn't really expansion anyone would actually welcome anyways, and at the same time 3G or not, no one really gives a fuck.
I didn't realize there was an option for 3G.
Yes, there was one that launched. So basically, you have to sign up a deal with the phone company, and every month you get a certain quota, and you can go online with your Vita.
Okay, so do the other consoles have 3G option as well?
Which ones?
I don't know, the later ones. Did they?
No. They took that out because it wasn't popular. Why do you need a Wi-Fi, a 3G? To be honest, to go on Facebook, you might as well whip your phone out.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, the later generations.
They removed the 3G.
They removed the 3G version, and it became more really, really light and portable. As you can see right here, I have a white one.
So this is the second version?
This is the second version they released, known as the PlayStation Vita 2000. and it's a bit more firm. Instead of the plain black design they introduced, which is just black and all white, they introduce a dual color scheme known as
It's definitely lighter.
for example, black and blue, and then here with white and black.
You can't change these cases, can you?
No, you can't change them. But then, like for the special edition Vitas, they have their own special, unique art in the back. For example, in here we have the Tokiden kind of style backing.
We have Final Fantasy.
Yeah, Final Fantasy here, and here we have the Kankole version. But yeah,
Don't know if you guys see that.
I mean, look, I'll zoom it in hard. Like, there you go. Anyways. So yeah, like the second generation was more thin and more portable, especially as you can notice. Instead of the old charging port, which is like a complete unique charging port, they switched it over to the micro USB charging port,
that was the problem with the first version. They had an original charging port, so
which was really annoying because you have to use the original cable, and if you lose it, you're fucked.
Yeah.
And whereas this is more easier for you to go around, and then there's the micro SD that same charging port as your phone, so you can just
switch in that one if you want.
Yep. And then afterwards they were like, you know what, let's release another cheaper solution for the people as well, and that what became of in my hand right here. This is known as the PlayStation Vita TV. Yeah.
Vita TV.
TV.
It's actually quite compact.
It's a really tiny device, and what you do is you plug in your HDMI port here into the TV, or whatever LCD screen you have, switch it on, and you're pretty much playing PlayStation Vita on the TV.
That's actually really cool.
It's cool, like the game slots right here, your memory card slots right here, and it works just like any other normal Vita.
So one thing I remember, right?
It's just not portable.
The Vita uses an original memory card, doesn't it?
Yes, unfortunately, the memory card for the PlayStation Vita, it's kind of unique, so you have to buy the exact same brand, and
you can't use a micro SD instead of it. It's unique size, so it won't fit.
The bad thing about it is the pricing itself is also ridiculously insane because Sony has a monopoly over it. So yeah.
I mean, I guess it's for like security measures and a monopoly, because I remember that was the reason why 3DS was kind of hackable, or DS in general.
Well, do you know that the Vita is recently hacked?
Really?
But yeah.
I didn't know that, but okay, cool.
Yeah, like for those of you who decide to want to pick a Vita for yourself, like if you haven't got one yet, if you're someone that likes to just play Vita at home and wouldn't like to bring it out, and then your parents are always fighting with you for the TV, then I just recommend the PlayStation Vita 1000, the first generation, because not only has an OLED display, which is much more better than 2000 generation series. The grip, the design itself is so delicate, it's just...
How comfortable is it for you to hold while playing?
I would say it feels a lot more better than holding the 2000 generation, because despite the fact being thicker, right, it's just feels so firm and durable, and the buttons itself are great. Like, if I'm playing on the thin one, right, I feel like I'm holding on something that's really... You can hear, right? It's like screeching.
Yeah.
It's really flimsy, and if you play any sort of intense music games, right, it gets worse.
Button mashing might.
But however, if you're the person that likes to go out a lot, I have to go on trips, Charlie. I have to go overseas all the time. I go on planes all the time, like you. Then then the 2000 generation is great because first of all, you don't have to bring that many cables. You can charge with any cable you want. And second of all, it's portable. It fits in your bag more easy, more snug, and you can just carry it. It's general. But then, like, if you've decided you're someone that want more graphics, more power, and you just play at home anyways, then
it certainly is lighter than the other one.
Definitely.
Well,
however, you gotta... Hey, Charlie, but I don't like to play on the screen because it's too small. Like, is there any choice? Then the cheapest choice,
if
the
you
TV.
Really sit down and
relax, play on your TV. The PlayStation TV, it's your choice. But do remember, some games do not support on the PlayStation TV because it has touchscreen features.
Okay.
But I think from what I've heard, right, if you plug in the PlayStation 4 controller, it could work. But not tested. I don't know.
How much are those things?
Okay. So for like a first generation, second hand right now for a first generation 1000, it'll cost around like $100 Australian dollars. maximum, which is around like $80 USD. You can probably find one in really great mint condition. And these stuff are great. Like if you see one and you know you have the extra cash to spare, grab one of these.
They don't officially release them anymore, do
Nah, they're already discontinued. So is the PlayStation Vita TV. They're discontinued, but you can still find them for brand new at around $40 to $60 American. And these stuff are great. Like it's brand new. It comes with a DualShock 3 controller, which you can use for a PS3 as well. So it's a steal in my opinion. As for this current generation of 2000, I'm not gonna bother grabbing it up, but the pricing is also great. It's a lot more reduced since the launch day of PlayStation, so it's around like 180 or 160. You can probably grab one for brand new. And if you want a mint condition, probably 150. You can
Well,
find
the
one.
Vita's been around for quite some time now, like 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not surprised that like it should not be that expensive nowadays.
It's typically reduced in general, so yeah.
How do you feel about the Vita, like from now? Do you reckon it's still got a life, or it's almost?
Oh man, it's got way more potential to go. I can see a lot more great RPGs or any weeb games coming, so do anticipate it. And I think we should move on to the games, yeah.
All right.
So yeah, like this is an otaku or a really niche genre of games that we're introducing. So we don't have any like if you guys are looking for something like, you know, Final Fantasy and all the general mainstream games, we probably have none. We might have like one or two mainstream games because they're really worth mentioning in the otaku genre. But then outside of that, nah, we don't have any of those AA plus titles or anything. But you know,
So you guys probably would have heard. of
you
them
guys already know about it
so,
anyway. So
yeah.
this is for otakus only. This is like niche.
Yeah, for
This
the
is
niche
like
of the niche.
Niche of the niche, man. This is like the hidden shit you don't know about.
Right. So what's the first genre?
Well, first genre we talk about RPG, but I think most of you might heard about it already. We try to pick out the niche types, but
Yep.
you know they're still pretty popular. Like for example, here I have Persona 4 Golden. This is one of the classics, and I think it's kind of mainstream nowadays. So if you played it, you already know about it. Great RPG, has all the elements in an RPG games you can look for, and typical Japanese life kind of genre, and you know you would just go to love it. Relationship chasing, chicks skirt chasing, you know, racial, you know, persona
Gameplay
kind
and
of
story.
gameplay, building, grinding, RPG, dungeon exploring,
Is there any mystery
mini
element to it?
games, jobs, everything. You work as a bunch of students trying to solve a mystery murder inside your own town. So it's a really interesting game. Like if you haven't played the Persona series, then do play it. But if you already played the old Persona 4 from the PlayStation 2, Persona 4 Golden is actually a remake with a lot more new elements in it. So do check it out. Really cool game, especially when you can carry it on your Vita and play it on the go.
Yeah.
Moving on, we have the Trails series, which consists of Trails of the Sky and Trails of the Cold Steel, which is recently released on the Vita as well.
Yeah. Okay. The only one I've played here is Trails of the Cold Steel. This is actually my copy. But
Yeah, it's his copy.
So what it's about? It's about a group of students.
It's more like a
In-
group of students. Like usually, it's about the main characters being at first kind of naive and fresh at the start, but slowly getting dragged into more of a political warfare
Yeah.
and trying to
they're
prevent war from happening.
learning magic, I guess.
They're learning military arts.
Military arts. They're in a military school.
Yep.
That's it. Yep. Okay. And one particular thing about this game is that it has a particular combat system that
It's a unique crafting gem combat system
where you equip gems or orbs
into
that
your character.
give the characters like abilities and skills and stuff like that. So you can really customize your team and how your gameplay works. So if you really wanted to, you can like combo like crazy, or you can, you know, smash like
Pretty
a
much.
madman, stuff like that.
So if you're looking for an
Gameplay is
RPG,
quite diverse.
if you're looking for an RPG games that relies on build up, moving up the ranks, you know, for example, up the military ranks or up the mercenary groups ranks in Trails of the Sky, then you know this game's for you. It's about more building up, doing side quests, more of the story, a bit more darker in plot, you know, because it involves you know political warfare and so on and so forth. Then the Trail series from Falcom is the way to go for you guys. So the next game we have in our line is actually Tales of Hearts R. This is actually a remake from the DS series.
Yeah, okay.
So you guys actually played the Tales series.
From the original DS?
From the original DS. So if you guys played the Tales series, it's more of a light-hearted adventure with a group of people. Exactly the same thing, a remake of the classic. And if you want light-hearted games to play on the go or as a time waster, I recommend Tales of the Hearts. You can still find it, I think. There's always eBay. Anyway,
Is it a quite old game? Is it?
it's quite old. And next we have on the line, it's called Conception 2. This is the second sequel to the game that was first released in PlayStation Portable.
Yeah. Okay.
And what this game is about is basically you team up with a bunch of girls, and you have the thing known as Star Child, and you basically try to make your partner conceive your Star Child by giving birth to them, and you know mixing their stats together. So basically, it has all the traits and all that stuff, and the Star Child fights for you.
Sounds like kind of a dating sim.
So
Kind of a
basically
combat game.
RPG with dating sim and kids giving birth
I'm not
system.
judging. That's cool.
And conceive, and they call it the conceive system.
If you want to make babies, yeah, go ahead.
That's why it's called Conception. And moving on, we have the classic series. This is a must mention, but most of you might know it already, especially for us 90s kids. Most of you might even played it already. It's called the Digimon RPG. Yeah. These are great RPG series, especially when you're a 90s kid and a Digimon fan. Brings back the classic, especially the new one that released on English, known as Digimon Cyber Sleuth. You play as a detective investigating what exactly is happening in and out of the cyber world and real life world to stop Digimon catastrophe from happening as a detective. So great game, raise your own Digimon and do your stuff.
So there is combat in these games, right?
There is this RPG combat for Cyber Sleuth. As for Digimon World Next Order, it's a remake of the classic Digimon World we play on the PlayStation 1. More of a sandbox adventure, and you raise your Digimon how how you raise on the Digivice, you know, take them to the toilet, to, you know, and then feed them and so on and so forth. Raise them. When they fight, you cheer for them, and you know let them views. They die, but then you know you get a new Digimon, which then inherits all the previous. Which then inherits all the previous Digimon's traits and so on and so forth.
Because they'll give you an egg before that.
Unfortunately, New World is not announced in English yet, but I'm pretty sure they will. So you know, hope be there.
It's Digimon.
It's
like,
Digimon.
Digimon
It'll
is
work
the
out.
shit.
Okay, so we're done with the RPG section.
Right. What's our next genre?
So next we have the niche genre. This is for something that you know that's too much interest in and separates into a little categories.
Not enough of
and
the
yeah,
games.
we just mash them
So-
together.
Yeah, other category, whatever. Other
So
niche.
if you're like an otaku, but you want something that's short and fun while on the train, and you know you can just turn off whenever, so you don't have to I need to save and all that crap, right? You can just pause it and turn it off, or you can just turn off the whole system and let it go with. Then I recommend something like a fighting game, but this is for otakus. Is known as Dengeki Bunko, fighting
okay.
Climax. So it's more about grabbing characters from the Dengeki light novel series, and you know having them do an all-star brawl with Sega characters.
So you have characters like Misaka Mikoto
From
Railgun.
Railgun, Sword Art Online, Shana, and then Durarara, Oreimo,
Yeah, pretty cool if you're like, you know, those series.
Valkyria Chronicles, Axel
Oh, I didn't know
World.
Valkyria Chronicles was in that.
Yeah, and yeah. So if
But
you
yeah.
if you like this kind of shit, you know, buy
That's
it.
cool. Yeah. Fighting games with, you know, anime characters you know from.
Yep.
Yeah. Why not? It's cool.
Moving on, we have something that's actually more niche here. Now this is actually one of my favorite genres. I call this the sugar daddy genre.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
This is the best shit. So if you
alright.
like this game I'm about to introduce, if you see it right, oops, I'm sorry. If you see it right, you just buy it. You know, it's impossible to find these days. So what I have
Well,
here.
how old is it first?
This is when like Vita first came out,
Okay, so that's 2011-12.
pretty much.
So
So
pretty damn old.
yeah, so if you see this game, do buy it. This game is called, I'll put it here. It's called Dream Club Zero Portable, because you can actually find Xbox 360
already
version.
sounds weird, but okay, let's keep
But this
going.
is a portable version. So what you do in this game, right? You're actually a normal student. One day you stumbled upon a hostess club, a nightclub, or a gentleman's club, and you see this chick you really like, and
so this kid is like fucking 16 years old or something.
I don't know.
And he walks into a hostess club. What the?
So whatever. You pick the chick you like, and then you want to see her again. So what do? You gotta work hard, earn money, so you can go back to the hostess club and ask for her again. Then you can play all the jiggly games, and all the drinking games, and all the funny stuff.
Oh yeah. So you can do all the naughty stuff.
Yeah, you do all the naughty stuff. It's like great. It's a perfect game for the perfect otaku, man. This game is fucking awesome.
Okay.
I cannot recommend it more.
Is there any H content in this?
Ecchi.
Alright, if you want to call it that.
So in this game you have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, I think 14, but basically you have 14 chicks to pick from, and 14 different endings, and 14 storylines. What more could you ask for? 14 waifus, man!
Are the stories actually legit?
It's actually
are
legit.
They actually like thorough
It's legit.
stories?
It's legit.
Okay.
It's legit. It's Idol Master legit.
I don't master legit.
But it's legit. So if you see Dream Club Zero portable on the Vita somewhere on the shelf, grab it.
Is there a harem route?
I think there might be, but I don't know. I never really finished it. But this game is so rare, I don't even think you can find it anymore. See it, buy it. And if you see it for like some clearance price because they're trying to get rid of it, that means the guy's retarded. Just buy off him. And then you have the successor to the Dream Club Zero series, even though it's a different company, but same concept. Here we have a game known as Oedo Blacksmith. As you can see here, I'll zoom in, I'll put it in somewhere like here, or here. But anyways, so this game you play as a blacksmith, like the game title suggests.
Yep. Okay.
And you actually have a great disease, and you're about to die in 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
And your job is basically you want to find someone that you can spend your last days with to share your feelings with.
As you would, yeah. Okay.
But
sure.
I mean, who wants to be with a guy that's about to die, anyways? So he decides to spend the rest of the day visiting a hostess club to be with someone that's willing to listen to him
Okay.
and hang out and all that stuff. So yeah, you stumble upon a hostess club this time. You have 3 chicks to pick from, 1, 2, and 3. But oops, 1, 2, and 3. 3 chicks to pick from. You craft swords because you're a swordsmith. Get your reputation up. Get enough money. Get enough dosh. Go back there. Spend 1 night with them. Process continues until you hit the end.
So you can't use the swords you make.
No, you don't. You're a swordsmith. You make swords, and you send in mercenary. You send in merc teams to go in to retrieve like minerals for you.
So you do resource gathering to get money to go
make
to the host club, to hit up some chicks, to get the booty and get them scenes.
Isn't this great?
All right.
So yeah, there you have
All the stuff for you to play with yourself on the toilet.
you have Oedo Blacksmith. Moving on, this game is called Kagero, and what this game is, I think it's released in English. I think I've seen it before, but I don't know. Maybe you guys can correct me in the comments down below. But basically, this game is a torture game. It's a torture chamber labyrinth.
That went
game.
dark.
But however, it's kind of a dark humor kind of torture game. So you're actually a demon princess, and you have actually warriors and all that stuff trying to come up. You have the heroes coming up to try to kill you because they want glory for themselves.
Yeah.
So what do, man? You set up a bunch of traps for them to fall in. And the more traps they fall into in the chain combo, the more humiliation they get. And when they feel humiliated enough, you can kill them and execute them.
Sounds a bit sadistic.
It's sadistic. It's a really sadistic game, but then it's really fun because the traps are just hilarious. Like you have the golden toilet, so the guy gets his head stuck in the toilet and just flushed him back up. It's just hilarious. And you have like all the S&M horses and all that crap like that. Like this is a must-play game, man. Like I cannot recommend it more. Like I hope you guys can see it, but you guys probably can't see it. Like I'll put a gameplay clip on the side so you guys can see how hilarious this game is. This, you have the Bullet Girl series. So this is pretty simple. I'll just TLD. Alright. First person shooter. You win against them. You punish them. Jiggle physics. Done.
FPS system is okay.
FPS is cool. Boobs are cool. Combined together. Masterpiece.
Oh, simple.
Am I right?
More toilet humor, I guess.
More toilet humor. Pants down game number 1. Now, alright, this game is recent. This game is called Uppers, as you can see. And what you do here is you actually arrive to a fight town. It's a beat 'em up game. And in this town, the more guys you beat up, the more famous you get, and the more girls admire you. So the whole goal for the main character in this game is to beat as much people up so he can get admired by all the girls and basically have his own harem.
Okay.
And at the same time...
Is there any interaction with the girls here?
Yes, basically throughout the missions and all that stuff, there'll be girls cheering for you, and if you accomplish the task they ask you to do, right, then they'll give you a love letter. Mm-hmm. And with the love letter, pretty much it goes into the girls collection, and you can pretty much call the girl up in so-called CG mode, and have fun with it.
Fun.
Yeah, I mean, there's also 6 main character girls you can hang out with, so it's actually a pretty fun game to play. Just remember.
Okay.
And that concludes our niche genre. Moving on to the final genre for the day. We're gonna save the rest of them for the next video, yeah? So the final genre we have is the visual novel genre, which is what majority of us are waiting for, the otakus ourselves.
If you're not really into otaku culture or anime culture in general, you
will still play it.
Yeah, but
like cool.
Like this is the kind of thing that you would only know if you're really into this culture.
Pretty much.
But we definitely recommend it for
But these
all
days,
people.
I mean, visual novel is pretty wide open. That's why
it's getting more introduced to Western society lately, with games like Clannad getting a port. And
pretty much.
Grisaya.
So a lot of Western audience are actually getting more exposed to visual novel, which is a great thing.
Great thing.
Here I have so-called Zero Escape series, which I don't have the first one because it's on the DS and 999 series. It's over there in the shelf somewhere, but I really can't be stuffed to look through there. I'm sorry. But basically, you have the 999 series, and for the Vita, these are the 2 sequels. I do recommend you play the first game. It's on DS, and you can probably buy for a few bucks. They're probably like $6 to $7 on eBay for a second-hand game. Play that game and then continue on with these 2 games. It's great. It's a great mysterious horror kind of role-playing visual novel kind of game, and you get 20 endings in each game respectively around. And
that's the thing about visual novels. In most cases, visual
it's
novels
full of infinite possibilities.
Multiple endings, and you get to make choices through dialogue.
Pretty much, and
through gameplay to pick an ending.
It's a really cool game. Like it's about, I'll give a bit of a plot. Like you're the main character, you get stuck in a ship that's about to sink, and you have to get out as soon as possible, and you have to work with the people around you. But then you get orders given by a mysterious figure, but you have to follow his rules because your hand's strapped with a watch which contains a bomb that could blow your ass off, pretty much.
Sounds a bit like Saw now that you mention it.
But it came before Saw, I think.
Really?
I think so.
Saw's pretty damn old.
But 999 was like 2006.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not gonna go there. But you have the Zero Escape series. Do check it out. It's really, really cool series. We really liked it. Moving on. This is something more niche that no people really know about, but I happened to stumble across it. So do check it out. This game is called Tokyo Twilight Ghost Hunters. Don't play it until you're 16. Anyways.
Don't they all have the mature rating on them? This one has 17 on it.
Anyways, this game you play as a you try to solve mysteries as a student or reporter or detective, whatever you call it, and you try to unsolve like supernatural mysteries and all that stuff. There'll be puzzles, there'll be battles, but it's a really, really cool like visual novel game. So do check it out. It's called Tokyo Twilight Ghost Hunters.
So, what's the general environment, the story environment?
I would say at first it's kind of like cool, but then it gets a bit creepy. Then it goes back to cool kind of thing.
okay.
Because you have like adventure mode where you go around and explore and try to learn stuff. Then you have like the sensory input system where you try to input all your data into one and try to solve the mystery. Then you have your prediction to predict what's going to happen next, and
Okay. Yeah.
So really cool game. Here we have something that everyone should know already. Steins Gate is a great visual novel.
I don't know. It's a bit more niche.
I don't know, but
Yeah.
I'll give it TLD. It's a visual novel about time traveling. Really cool, trying to solve time mysteries.
And trying to keep your chick alive.
He spoiled it, not me. anyways,
you can bleep that out if you want.
anyways, it's a time travel kind of visual novel. It's really really cool. Do check it out if you haven't watched the anime. If you watch the anime, still check it out because it has a lot more details into it. Finally, we have the Trigger Happy Dangan Ronpa series 1, 2, and the side story. It's called Another Episode, Despair Girls.
Trigger Happy's the name they put in when they translate it to English, didn't they?
No, they call it Trigger Havoc or Trigger Happy. I don't know.
Yeah, something like that.
Trigger Happy all the
But
way.
yeah, Danganronpa. It's like currently Danganronpa 2 is airing
on anime,
2, 3,
so you guys should know
anime.
about it. Series is all about the main character getting stuck in the school with a bunch of guys, and every chapter someone dies, and he has to be the one that solves the mystery of the murder.
Otherwise, he gets suspected and everyone convicts him or some shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
or his friend. Or
really
something.
dark and cool story. It shows you how despair these people feel, so do check it out. The first two are visual novel. The third game is actually a side game, which is more about a first-person shooter about the main character's sister trying to save the main character out from the school that he's stuck in, called the Despair School or Hope School. And either way you put it. But really cool series. It's a trilogy. Do check it out. And last but not least, this is something that we recently acquired. This is a collaboration work of Kadokawa and the tourism board in Matsue.
And if you guys have been looking
Japan.
at our channel, you would have seen we have a video of this.
Yes, this game is called Root Letter. And it's a really cool game. You play as the main character called Max, and you always have this letter pen pal called Aya, which you always exchange letters with. But one day she disappeared 8 years ago, leaving behind a letter that only says, "I killed someone. So goodbye." So you want to go back to the town that she used to live in 8 years ago and try to solve the mystery of what the fuck happened.
So basically, you're a curious little kid, and you go around trying to dig up mysteries, like from other people.
No, you try to find out mysteries
work out
about
what happened to this girl. Why is she gone?
But at the same time, people around that used to know Aya or are her friends refuses to talk to you about Aya's past. So what you have to do is you have to dig up their dirt and throw it in their face so they talk about it. In this game, you're the dickhead. But I enjoy it. But alright, let's put a so this game is actually great. The visuals are amazing. They're exactly what it is as portrayed in the real life Matsue in Japan, near Hiroshima. So if you do check out Matsue in Japan, you can actually check out the locations that's actually in the game. All the restaurants, bars, cafes,
that's a really
they're
good
all
thing.
legit. Like even the people inside there, they're real people.
Because they worked in collaboration with
The
tourists.
tourism group.
Tourism
So
groups.
everything inside this game is real, except for the aliens and all that fiction crap they depict.
Is that a spoiler?
No,
Okay.
but it's already mentioned. But this game has infinite possibilities. The unique way of visual novel, how you pick on how you respond, is actually depicted into letter. Hence the game title Root Letter. So in every chapter, you actually respond to how you actually talk to the girl throughout the.
You can choose your response of the
Yeah.
letter, and depending on your response, you will get certain scenarios, and your story will flow in a certain way. Where
Yeah,
you
I mean,
have
like,
those scenarios, so.
There's a lot of scenarios where you could change to an alien isolation scenario, or you can change to a haunted scenario where you're possessed. There's lots of really weird but actually really interesting scenario. I mean, this game is pretty fun. It's pretty light humor at the same time, also dark humored, also a bit creepy, but great game. Do check it out. Amazing graphics
Story.
from the creator of
Yeah.
Love Plus.
Love Plus.
Yes,
Ah,
it's by the same artist from Love Plus. The art's great. The food looks amazing. I actually want to go there.
Food looks amazing.
So do check out. Remember the names of the restaurants out there and get back there. But Root Letter is a must play. The game is coming out in English in August. Do check it out. You have my heartfelt recommendation in this game. Not because I played this recently.
Right.
But anyways, that concludes in the first
Yep.
video for our PlayStation Vita Otaku's
Guide
Waifu
series.
Buying Guide. I'm sorry.
Waifu Buying Guide.
Waifu
Alright.
Buying Guide. So, on the next video, let's preview what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about more on dungeon crawling, grinding, adventure, hack and slash,
Music.
and music.
Yep.
The most important thing for us all. So do stay tuned.
Do you mean the most things that get us copyright?
Yeah. Victor Entertainment Columbia.
Columbia.
Anyways, if there's any games we missed out in this genre that you think should be included in this waifu material, there's a comment section down below. Do leave a comment, because we actually read them.
we like to see that
We
there
like
are
to see
our
that-
comments.
Yeah. Do
They
read
actually make us like go like, oh man, someone commented on our video. Like
Yeah.
actually.
So
yeah.
do leave a comment on what you think should be in the list.
in the list.
In the list.
If
you
you,
know.
have your own suggestions,
Do leave a comment down below. And you see that subscribe button down there? Click on that.
There, wherever, the hell
Wherever it is, click on that button if you have.
there. No, there.
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 If you haven't subscribed, subscribe now.
If
you already
already,
subscribe again. And if you haven't liked the video, like
give us a
it.
like.
If you don't like the video, still give me a like.
like.
Because we love you.
And we will see you on the next video. In
Bye
5 minutes.
bye.